This next cojones goes to a man who's dear to my heart for standing up for stand-up. When dozens of Netflix employees walked out over Dave Chappelle's reckless decision to perform comedy on his comedy special, CEO Ted Sarandos could have pulled the special and replaced it with more episodes of Who Wants to Watch Koreans Get Killed. But instead, he reminded his Netflix employees that comedy exists to push boundaries and told them if you'd find it hard to support our content breadth, Netflix may not be the best place for you. For making the phrase, "Don't let the door hit you in the never sound better." This is for you, Ted.
Bill Maher's battle against Hollywood's self-proclaimed woke elite is far from finished. Recently, he took aim at a slew of celebrities, calling out their disconnect from reality and their relentless promotion of personal agendas. With his signature sharp wit, Maher dissected their shortcomings, exposing the performative nature of their virtue signaling and the gaps between their words and real-world impact. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's dive in and break down exactly what Maher revealed about the entertainment industry's obsession with image over substance.
But there's no getting around the fact that what was on the mind of the liberals that night in Brentwood, or wherever we may have been, was that the most powerful witch hunters now were coming from Twitter, the Ivy League, and the progressive left. J.K. Rowling used to be a villain to the right because she wrote books about witchcraft. Now she's a villain to the left because she has the crazy belief that there's more to being a woman than pronouns and lipstick.
Maher kicked things off by highlighting a striking irony. The so-called woke left often elevates its heroes until a single comment slips out of line. The moment someone deviates from the approved script, they're swiftly abandoned. J.K. Rowling is the most famous example, but she's far from alone. Elon Musk, once hailed as Silicon Valley's progressive darling, faced backlash the instant his views diverged from the mainstream. Joe Rogan, praised as a rebellious voice for progressives, eventually drew fire when he challenged popular narratives. Even Maher himself, long celebrated as a liberal icon, wasn't immune. The woke mob, it seems, rewards conformity and punishes deviation with ruthless efficiency. In essence, loyalty is conditional, extended only to those who fit perfectly within the prescribed ideological mold. Any divergence, however small, triggers a rapid and often merciless public exodus. Maher's point was clear. This culture of performative allegiance leaves little room for independent thought, and it turns heroes into scapegoats overnight.
So that was the point of the evening. How do we take a stand against cancel culture? And I suggested, since we were mostly all in show business, that we start an award show to honor the brave people who have fought back. Well, I got to tell you, the idea was met with great enthusiasm by everyone. And in short order, different people were suggesting the ways that their varied talents could be put to use. And then, of course, being Hollywood, nothing happened. But it's still a good idea, so I'm going to do it right here, right now. And not only that, we're going to do it every year.
So what exactly is Maher trying to convey? He's shining a spotlight on the true rebels of Hollywood, the ones who refuse to bow to the tribunal of cancel culture. These are the celebrities who made no concessions, offered no rehearsed PR statements, and stood by their convictions in public, fully aware that backlash was inevitable. Instead of retreating, they doubled down, defending their positions and emphasizing the enduring importance of free expression. In doing so, Maher is effectively honoring those within Hollywood's echo chamber who chose principles over popularity. In today's climate, such courage, refusing to compromise morals for fame, deserves nothing less than a standing ovation.
Our first award goes to the president of my alma mater, Cornell University, Martha Pollack. This month, students there demanded trigger warnings before all the lectures in case any of the adult subjects you specifically went to college to learn about came up. And Martha said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. She didn't cave in or hire a new dean of sensitivity. She just said, no, college is for introducing you to new ideas, not for kissing your and making you feel wonderful and always right.
If more universities followed Martha Pollack's example, we'd be raising a generation of confident leaders rooted in clear reasoning rather than drowning in ideological jargon. Today, many campuses have turned into echo chambers, where genuine curiosity is replaced by rigid political correctness Conformity is celebrated and dissent is quickly silenced. Pollock, however, stood her ground. She defended the integrity of education even in the face of the full force of the woke tide, refusing to compromise her principles. Her steadfastness and courage make her more than deserving of the praise Maher is giving her. She embodies the kind of bravery and intellectual honesty that is increasingly rare in modern academia.
Thinking of brunch with your parents. I'm just amazed at how this generation can simultaneously be too sensitive for anything distasteful and somehow also so into eating ass. So, Cornell, I present you with these balls. I sure could have used them when I was there.
A closer look at today's youth reveals a striking paradox. On one hand, they pride themselves on being bold, fearless, and unapologetically edgy, pushing boundaries in ways that would have shocked their grandparents. Yet, the moment they encounter even the slightest verbal criticism, they crumble. It's remarkable how easily people can degrade and dehumanize one another in the name of love, self-expression, or social causes. Yet, a single joke, a harmless comment, or a differing opinion can trigger outrage beyond measure. The contrast is both striking and ironic, exposing a level of hypocrisy that's hard to ignore. In essence, this generation champions freedom of expression selectively, embracing intensity and rebellion on their own terms while reacting fiercely against anything that challenges their comfort zones.
The next award goes to the place where many Cornell grads will be working next year, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's, who for years have been selling a line of ethnically themed products, trading on the name Joe. For example, they have Trader Jose's beer. So, of course, one teenager on Twitter heard the word Jose and said it was racist, and then there was a petition, and then Trader Joe's management did the right thing. They burnt down all their stores and so. No, they didn't. They said, F off, you oversensitive little
The Trader Joe's incident feels like it happened just yesterday. Armed with virtual pitchforks, the Twitter mob demanded corporate apologies, rebranding, and a full public mea culpa. Many predicted disaster, assuming the company would fold under the pressure, as so many do in today's climate. The pattern is familiar. Concede, erase your identity, and issue regretful statements. But Trader Joe's did the unthinkable. They stood their ground. They refused to bow to cancel culture, and the result? Absolutely nothing catastrophic. Sales didn't plummet. Consumers weren't outraged. Why? Because most people recognized the noise for what it was. Bluster without cause. Calling the product Trader Jose wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't racist. It was simply playful branding. By sticking to their guns, Trader Joe's showed that success sometimes boils down to a mix of common sense and backbone. They demonstrated that companies don't always need to apologize for harmless creativity or bow to every viral outcry. In a culture quick to condemn, they proved that measured confidence and refusing to overreact can be far more effective than panic-driven concession.
Get a life and a sense of humor and released this statement. We disagree that any of these labels are racist, and we do not make decisions based on petitions. You see how easy it is? So to the home of the 19-cent banana, here, have some nuts.
All the credit for standing up to the so-called woke mob goes to Trader Joe's. In an era when most businesses fold at the first sign of online outrage, they proved that courage still pays off. Their steadfastness sends a powerful message. Obstacles can be overcome, and the mob isn't as formidable as it pretends to be. In reality, it's just a small chorus of angry voices shouting into the Twitter void, not an unstoppable force. Once you understand that, their influence quickly fades. Trader Joe's showed the world how to respond with calm, confidence, and common sense, demonstrating that sometimes the best strategy is simply not to panic.
Dozens of Netflix employees walked out over Dave Chappelle's reckless decision to perform comedy on his comedy special. CEO Ted Sarandos could have pulled the special and replaced it with more episodes of Who Wants to Watch Koreans Get Killed. But instead, he reminded his Netflix employees that comedy exists to push boundaries and told them if you'd find it hard to support our content breadth, Netflix may not be the best place for you.
The fury of cancel culture hasn't spared comedians whose very craft is built on pushing boundaries and highlighting life's absurdities. Some of the biggest names in comedy have faced relentless attacks from an outrage-hungry mob. Dave Chappelle was dragged through the mud simply for joking about taboo topics. Kevin Hart lost the chance to host the Oscars over tweets from years ago. Joe Rogan faced backlash for hosting conversations that challenged mainstream narratives. Even Rob Schneider, with his absurdist humor, couldn't escape scrutiny. Comedy has always thrived by questioning norms and exposing cultural contradictions. That's what makes it so vital. Yet today, it seems even a single off-script joke can provoke a storm of outrage. The irony is sharp. Those who are most committed to free expression are now often the first to be silenced. In a world where every word is scrutinized, comedians must navigate an environment where humor itself has become risky, and the line between satire and offense is constantly redrawn.
You know, when movie lovers get together these days, one phrase that comes up a lot and always makes me sad is, "Yeah, you couldn't make that one today." Top of that list is the great Tropic Thunder, which the scolds have been after for years. But in February, Ben Stiller tweeted, "I make no apologies for Tropic Thunder. It's always been a controversial movie since when we opened, proud of it and the work everyone did on it." See, people, it's not that hard. And he still got a commercial. And the lesson is, if you stand up to the mob for just a day or two, their shallow, impatient, immature, smartphone-driven, gerbil minds will forget about it and go on to the next nothing burger, and you still will have your cojones.
When Maher reminded Hollywood that it's okay to push back against the woke mob, he didn't hold back. Too many celebrities live in constant fear that a trending hashtag will erase years of hard-earned success. Maher cut through that paranoia. A few days of online outrage, it's fleeting. The mob moves on to its next target, and brief fury rarely ruins a career. The real danger is silence and cowardice. Giving up your voice to appease an unsatisfied mob is the surest way to lose respect. His message was simple but powerful. Stop groveling, trust your judgment, and don't let fear dictate your words. In the end, audiences admire audacity far more than they do flawless compliance. Courage, spoken clearly and confidently, resonates far deeper than temporary viral anger.
Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan.
Maher also took aim at Hollywood celebrities who love posing as rebels but falter when true courage is required. Remember when several high-profile stars vowed to leave the country if Trump were elected? Bold promises of exile played out on late-night shows, red carpets, and Twitter feeds alike. But 9 months into Trump's presidency, where were they? Still in the same cities, sipping champagne, living their lavish Hollywood lives. Not a single moving truck in sight. Maher called it what it was: hypocrisy. Empty words for attention, empty threats for applause. If you're going to proclaim opposition, back it up with action. Otherwise, it's just a performance, a camera-ready script, not a conviction-driven stance.
2016, Eddie Griffin said, "If Trump wins, I'm moving to Africa." Apparently very slowly, because in Trump's 4 years, he only got as far as Van Nuys. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez, still here.
The last people anyone should turn to for serious guidance are Hollywood celebrities. They aren't intellectuals, philosophers, or visionaries. They're entertainers whose currency is praise. As the crowd shifts, so do their words. Convictions vanish the moment ticket sales or streaming numbers are at stake, and values bend to fit the latest trend. They excel at making concessions and carefully crafting public personas to maintain approval. And when the woke mob arrives, most crumble like cheap lawn chairs, offering hollow excuses to protect their status. Rarely do their ideals carry weight, let alone inspire real action. Fame, not moral clarity, guides them. Hollywood lacks consistency, courage, and integrity. Maher's critique, though sharp and witty, was more than just a jest. It served as a reminder of reality. Cancel culture only has power if you let it. Resistance works. As Trader Joe's proved, comedians continue to push boundaries and spark conversation, and figures like Martha Pollack show that academics can still stand firm with courage and principle. Real impact comes from those who refuse to cave, even when Hollywood's elites posture and flatter for attention. Maher's message is clear: prioritize common sense, don't surrender to unwarranted outrage, and recognize that defiance is not irresponsibility.